Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wilds coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning talk, man. For first-time listeners, I'm on at 8:45 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That is Central Time. It's our time here in the U.S., and you can calculate which time zone you're in. But yes, it's another beautiful day in Houston. Not a beautiful day. Today's what? Friday to everyone. Happy Friday to everyone. I just want to leave you quickly with something to go into the weekend. That's my goal, is just give you something inspirational in the morning, something to think about. So I'll leave you with this going into the weekend, right? This is December month, and for those who listen to me for the last 2 years, December, I love to promote, encourage people, put it on their mind early in the month about fasting for the new year. Introduce a little bit of fasting in your prayer for the new year, because fasting is something, it's a Christian discipline. We should be, fasting, because I'm going to explain. I can just do a quick introduction to fasting today, and then we probably can go into a little more depths into different aspects of this whole fasting, and explain some things why we need to fast, right? But I like to push this because I like to encourage people to start off the new year, do a fast in this December month. Lay out the things that you want to see happen in the new year for yourself. You go to God, fast, and pray about it. But there's some things we need to learn about fasting. Today, I'm just going to introduce it. But you make your plans, you put it out to Him, right? And He say, make your plans, and He can bless your plans, right? And you do that. So I like to promote that for the new year. So start early, so give people some time, because you're busy, and you could carve out, if you're a first-time fasting, even if you do a 12-hour fast, even if you do a 1 day, start wherever you can. Just start wherever you can. Don't gotta say, I'm gonna do, no massive nothing. You're not used to it. You start wherever you can start comfortable, and you can build up from there. Throughout the year, you can include this in your Christian walk, right? But let's look at Luke 5:33 through 35. Luke 5:33 through 35, and this is why I'm just showing what Jesus said about fasting, right? They said to him, this was the Pharisees and stuff that's come up to Jesus. They're always finding something to try to trap him, right? They said to him, John's disciples often fast and pray, and so the disciples of the Pharisees, but yours go on eating and drinking. So these things, man, Jesus, your disciples in following none of these disciplines, they're eating and drinking with you, having a good time. But John's disciples and the Pharisees, they're fast. Why your disciples not fasting, right? So Jesus answered, can you make the friends of the bridegroom fast while he's with them? But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them. In those days, they will fast. So Jesus is saying, look, now it's not a time for them to fast. The bridegroom is here. We're in a bridegroom. You're talking about a bridegroom. You're talking about a wedding. You're talking about celebration. It's a great and happy time. He said, and fasting is like kind of a mourning. So he said, they don't need to be mourning at the wedding, you know what I mean? In other words, how we use this parable. They don't need to be mourning at the wedding. You go to a wedding, is to celebrate. It's to enjoy. It's to have fun, It's a new family coming together, starting up here. It's time for celebrate. But he said when the wedding is over, pretty much, they will fast. They will fast. In other words, this parable used here, right? They will have to fast when I gone. But right now that I'm here, I taking care of things for them. I did my 40-day fast. I'm covering them. So they don't need to right now. But when I leave, they're going to got to fast. I'm just showing you. So it's an expectation for us to fast. And here is why. Here is why we need to fast. So we're going to look at here, Mark. We can look about 9:21 through 25. Mark 21 through 25. This can give us a little bit of thing why we need to fast, right? I got to read from a Bible today. Mark 21 through 29, right? So we start at 21. So this is a boy that had was troubled. This Jesus healed a boy with an impure spirit, right? I don't want to gotta read through the whole thing, but this guy had this impure spirit in him. He used to cause him to do a lot of crazy stuff, throw himself down, throw himself into fire, cut up himself, and all this stuff. So this guy brought this guy to Jesus' disciples, right? Jesus' disciples to cast out this demon, and they could not do it. And they were casting out a lot of demons before, you know, the healing sick, they're doing all of that. But for some reason, they could not get this one out. So long story short, the father bring the boy to Jesus. Right? That's why I can pick it up from. So Jesus asked the boy's father, how long has he been like this? From childhood, he answered, it was often throwing him into fire or water to kill him. But if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us. So the man pleading for his child as well any parent would do. Jesus, please, man, I gotta watch my child suffer. How much of us going through that right now? Watching a child suffering from some addiction, something they're going through, and you as a parent, and nothing you can do, right? So just the same situation this guy's father was in. You gotta watch his son throwing himself into water, cutting up himself, throwing himself into fire, this thing trying to kill him. And, you know, so he doing whatever he can. He realizes this is not medical no more. This is spiritual. So that's why he bring him to the disciples. Now we bring him to Jesus, because the disciples could not help him. So he begging Jesus, please take pity on us, right? Said, if you can, said Jesus, everything is possible for the one who believes. Jesus said, everything is possible for the one who believes, right? Immediately the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe. Help me overcome my unbelief. He said, any other unbelief do I have? Jesus, help me to overcome it, because I do believe, right? When Jesus saw that the crowd was running to the scene, he rebuked the impure spirit. You deaf and mute spirit, he said, I command you to come out of him and never enter him again. So Jesus rebuked the spirit. The spirit shrieked, convulsed him violently and came out. So I guess, you know, the guy was, you know, screaming, but the spirit came out. The boy looked so much like a corpse that many said he's dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him to his feet, and he stood up, right? After Jesus had gone indoors, his disciple asked him privately, why couldn't we drive this out? So the disciples like, Jesus, we driving out a lot of demons, healing a lot of sick. What's so different with this one? Why couldn't we do this and you do this so easily? Why couldn't we do this and you do it so easily? What are we lacking, man? I thought you give us this full power. Jesus, what's going on? You're holding back on us, right? So here what Jesus answered. He replied, after they gone indoors, the disciple asked him privately, he replied, this kind can only come out by prayer and fasting. Gail Brown, good morning. Mr. Stephen Adams, good morning. Good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? Thanks for checking in. So Jesus told them, this kind could only come out through prayer and fasting. But you remember here what we start off with in Mark 9:21, when the people asking him, why your disciples don't fast? Jesus said, no, I'm here right now, so they don't need to fast. But when I gone, they're going to need to fast. You see? So that's what they were lacking, the fasting part of it, why they couldn't cast out this demon. The fasting, right? So you see how these two come together. You see how the fasting come back here and affected them. Because Jesus said, and remember, Jesus did his 40-day fast. So Jesus was all, this is what Jesus was saying. They don't need to. I got them covered right now. What they can do, I can do. My ministry can still go on. But when I leave here, they got to fast to get this additional power that I have. They're going to have to fast. But we ain't waste time with them right now, because I'm here. I'm here. They got to. So I'm trying to say some things that we are dealing with. Fasting is necessary. Your regular prayers is not going to help you with it. Certain things, yes, you're going to pray. But certain things we're dealing with, we have to incorporate fasting, right? And that's segue into generational curses and all the good stuff. But certain things that we are dealing with, we need to include some fasting to get rid of it. Like Jesus saying, this kind, the stuff that you dealing with, that stuff, you got to watch your kids suffer some stuff, or you going through some stuff year after year. You're trying to make these every time the new year comes. And that's why our new year resolutions fail. That's why I want to encourage people to do this. Because you know you're making the new year's. Every time people are fired up, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop partying. I'm going to, save more money. I'm going to do this every new year. You're fired up with all these resolutions, and then a week or two, if so long, you're going right back to your regular pattern, right? This kind needs some fasting along with your prayers to help you break those stuff. That's why a lot of these New Year's resolutions don't work. So I'm encouraging you now. We got to take stuff a step forward. That stuff you're dealing with for years, and every year you're making a resolution, and you really want to do better. You really want to do better. Michelle Blair, good morning. Good morning. You want to do better. It's not that you don't want to do better. You want to do better. And you're going in with all intentions, but yet still you're getting pulled back to the same thing you don't want to do, or you want to see change. But I'm telling you, fasting, guys, it's going to help you with that. As Jesus told the disciples here, you could not get this one out because you guys didn't fast yet. Some kinds. And that's why when the talk about our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and the powers, and they go down and list out all the, they're going to list down all the hierarchy of the demonic kingdom. So some of the things we're dealing with, guys, if it's a generational curse and irregular prayers, it's not going to help you. You're going to need to include some fasting to get you that spiritual backup. And I could go quickly. Fasting is give you additional spiritual backup. That's what fasting does, right? Your prayer might have the one. I'm just saying, just using some examples so you could kind of get an understanding of what fasting does and why it works if you do it right, right? Let's say when you pray, God got this one messenger angel, like if you know about Daniel, you send the messenger Gabriel to give him the message and take care of him. So when you pray, you got the one angel come and help you and take care of the business what you're doing. But certain things, like just like in the case of Daniel, when God, so the first time Daniel had kneeled down to pray the 21-day fast that he went on, God sent the angel with a message right away, Angel Gabriel with the message. He's the messenger angel. But so when Gabriel was on his way, Daniel didn't get the message until the 21st day. But the angel explained to him what happened. He said, man, on my way here, the Prince of Persia held me up. The Prince of Persia is a demonic thing that's over the province of Persia at the time, and somehow the angel had to pass there to get to Daniel. We're talking about spiritual stuff. So, but the Prince of Persia realized, okay, you're going to give Daniel this message. I don't want Daniel to get this message. So the Prince of Persia stopped. They held him up for 20 days. Held up Angel Gabriel from coming and give Daniel his message, right? So God now had to send Archangel Michael, which is more powerful, because you see the messenger angel by himself was not powerful enough to deal with the prince. He's a prince. He's a little high up in the rankings in the demonic kingdom. He has the power to stop the little messenger angel because his stuff is go high up in his ranks. But now God had to send Archangel Michael now. Back up, because remember Daniel is praying and fasting. Daniel got to get his message. So now, if you was just praying, God probably release your answer to your prayers, but the demonic forces there that is much powerful than the angel who bring in for take care of your situation, hold them up. So you praying for certain things, and it's not happening, and you getting frustrated. So this story in Daniel give us a good picture. Will go on in the spiritual realm. But because Daniel was fasting now, he get additional backup. God sent Michael and say, hey, Michael, get your boys, because Michael is over the spiritual army, God's spiritual army. Get your boys and go and take care of business. So Michael had to come and, in other words, put a whacking on the Prince of Persia so Angel Gabriel could go and give Daniel the message. And he explained that's in Daniel, I can't remember the scriptures off my hand, but go to read the book of Daniel, you can get that story. And he tell him, but he said, man, so not that God didn't hear you. God hear you from the first day when you kneel and start praying. God hear you. You send me and I was held up. Michael come and clear the way. But he said, when I'm going back now, I got to prepare to fight again, because guess what's going to happen now? The Prince of Persia, he going and call for backup now. He going to get now his higher forces now, right? So I'm saying this to say it too. So when you fasting, guys, this is what's going on in the spiritual realm that you don't know. It's a lot spiritual warfare, war going on there in the spiritual realm, right? Because these spirits trying to hold the territory. And when you fast, you get additional backup, so to speak. I just throw it in there so you can get an understanding what fasting does. It gives you that additional spiritual backup to help you with your case. Because God got an obligation now to help you. So he got to send whatever forces he need to overcome the forces that is fighting you. Right? So in a nutshell, that's how this works. So that's why we got to include some fasting. So I like to encourage people going into the new year, guys, before you set those resolutions, make your resolutions the thing you want to see change. But let's just include fasting to help us. So within a week or two, we do not, go back to the normal thing. Because not that you don't want to do it. You really want to make the change. But the spiritual forces is so much stronger than your will. And you need help to do that. So this whole month, I think we can talk about fasting, explain it from different levels and show examples in the Bible how fasting works, right? So, but I just want to introduce it today. But start getting on your mind, start thinking about it for the people who never did it before, or the first time you're hearing this, or even if you thought about it, it's just a good refresher. But keep thinking about this because we're going to talk about it during this month. And you set the time when you can fast. All right, guys, have a great weekend, man. Enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend, and we can talk again. Thanks to everyone that check in. Miss Shannon Neal, how are you doing this morning? Hope all is well. Thank you, guys, for checking in and listening. Mr. Dale Brown, my cuz, all the way in Guyana, how are you doing, man? Have a great day, cuz. Goodbye.